What is going on, YouTube people? Well, it appears the rumors are true. Reprint is indeed coming. Now, everyone now seems to be on the same page that a reprint is coming. For the most part, everyone seems to be on the same page of what is being included in that reprint / restock. The two, and we'll do a quick recap here in a minute. The two key questions that we don't know are when and how much. And the how much is a double-sided sword. It's how much are they going to give us and how much is it going to cost. Those are the two on the how. The 4 booster boxes in question lined up for a reprint. Paldea Evolved, currently at about $225 a box. Obsidian Flames, currently around $190-ish a box. Twilight Masquerade, currently $215-ish, $220 a box. Surging Sparks, currently $260 plus a box. And the non-booster box reprint, Paldean Fates booster bundles, currently sitting at about $60. So those are the 5 SKUs that a large majority of the people are now in agreement of that is what's getting reprinted. We still don't know exactly when. There's been some rumors sooner rather than later, but that is unconfirmed. There has been talk on the pricing being aggressive and it also being just under market. There's been talk that there's going to be a ton of stuff and that it won't be enough to impact the market. Now, I don't know how much of that is real and how much of that is people guessing. As I stated in the previous video on reprints, for me, the biggest takeaway on this should be if you were about to buy, I would at least hit the pause button. It might cost you more in the long run. It could. Maybe these things are drastically underprinted compared to what everyone thinks they're going to be. But I think it's worth the risk to just wait. Give it a couple weeks and see what happens in regards to what comes to market for these. The ultimate thing will be, what does distribution decide to charge? And how much do they ship out? And how much are shops willing to sell at under market? Now, I think we'll know a lot in regards to the size of the reprints based off the pricing that they offer it to shops at through distro. If, let's use Surging Spark, or we'll use Paldea Evolved as an example. Let's just say current market price, let's call it $225. If distro comes out and offers it to people at $190, $180, $200, 10 to 20% below market price, to me, that tells me the reprint wasn't very big. That it is not a lot of boxes coming to market because they don't need to sell a lot. Remember, yes, there's conspiracies about distro sitting on stuff. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I have no way of knowing that. But if they're not getting a ton of it, they don't need to fire sell it. They could drop it slightly below market, and there'll be enough people willing to buy at that price to take it off their books. If they come out and say, hey, you want some Paldea Evolve for like $130 a box, $125 a box, $140 a box, somewhere in that range, to me, that tells me they printed a lot more of this stuff. The more aggressive the pricing distro offers, I would think the higher the quantity the print is. And maybe it varies product to product. Maybe one's just under MSRP and one's way under MSRP. I think that'll give you an idea of exactly how much of this stuff they snuck out the door. Then it comes to how quickly is it a race to the bottom for the stores. It's one thing for us sitting here that like to buy cases, boxes, whatever, and sit it on the shelf and forget about it. That's what we do. A majority of LGSs, people like that, they don't have that luxury. If distro comes to them and says, hey, here's a whole bunch of boxes we're offering you, of course the store is going to take it. But maybe it's a little bit more than what they're used to spending. So now all of a sudden they have a bunch of cases of, we'll use Paldea Evolved again, coming into the shop at, let's say it's an aggressive print run, $130 a box, but they had to buy 20 cases of it. And maybe that shop's only used to buying 10 cases at a time, maybe 5 cases, but it's Pokemon. So they take whatever they can get their hands on. They want to get their spend rate up. It's hot in the shop, whatever. So now all of a sudden they have way more on their books than they might feel comfortable with. A lot of stores are just going to churn and burn this. Journey Together is about to come out. There's other products coming out. A bunch of Magic sets are about to come out. They might not want a bunch of money tied up in a product just to sit it on the shelf. So let's say they get these at the 125 number. It's 225 on the secondary market. They're not the only shop that's doing this. There's going to be a bunch of places out there. And then it turns into how low does it go before it finds equilibrium. Someone will put it up for 200. I'll undercut the market by 25 bucks, move a bunch of product. It'll be great. Someone else goes, well, screw that. I'll put it up for 180 because I'm still making, what would that be? $55 a box, which is crazy good profit on a Pokemon booster. And then someone else might say, I'll put it up at MSRP, 165, 160, whatever, somewhere in there. You're still making under these scenarios, 20, 30 bucks a box, depending on the price. That's still pretty good, especially if you got a bunch of it. You want to get that off your books. You want to pay the bill. And also you're making some money for the next thing to keep it moving. That's what LGSs do. They keep the money churning. It's not, at least most of them, it's not about hoarding product. Now, some might stash a few here and there, but for the most part, they have rent to pay. They have employees to pay. They don't have the luxury of just sitting on product in most cases and then hoping it goes way up. They're better off to free up the capital to go buy the next thing and rinse and repeat over and over and over again. So I think we'll learn a lot on what distro offers at the shops at. That's going to be one leading indicator. And then if it's well under, then we'll get a race to the bottom and there could be some deals to be had. If it's not way under, you might be able to get it a little bit cheaper than today's prices, but not much. These are all the things that we don't know yet. So buckle up, Buttercup, as Rudy likes to say. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Be ready to pounce. If windows open where something drops down and people start undercutting like that, if those windows open up, they will be narrow and you will not have a ton of time to act, most likely. So keep that in mind. With that being said, we'll catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.